is doing today. I have a simple word to share. It's a word of encouragement. It's something that's encouraged me in my walk. It's spiritual reality that needed to sink in with me at times, and even in times of trial, I need still to remember it. But even if I don't remember it, it don't mean it's not true. And it's a truth, it's a simple reality that sets me free, so I share it with you. May you be set free when you're in a situation where this bit of truth can minister to you at that time. It says in Hebrews, I believe it's Hebrews 1, in the beginning of Hebrews, that in the days of old, the Lord spoke to our fathers through multiple ways. Through the prophets. We see in this Torah portion, he spoke audibly from the mountain. He spoke to the patriarchs in dreams, through a messenger, an angel, a messenger. He speaks to prophets in visions. But in these days, in the Acharit Hamayim, the last days, he speaks to us through his Son. So he will speak to us through Yeshua, the one who died and now lives inside of us. He will speak to us through his Son. He will speak to us through his Spirit. There's another way that Adonai will speak to us that we need to learn, and I need to learn, and needed to learn. And when we learn this and know this, it sets us free. The Lord can also speak to us through his silence. Let me explain what I mean by that. We have the Lord within us. He speaks to us. It was mentioned at the very beginning of service that we're his body. He's the head. He's the head of the body. But we lose sight of the term body, that we think body as in church or congregation or the corporate believers, and it is. But the analogy is that we're an actual body, a living, breathing body, and he's the head. That means he's the brain. That means he sends the signals. Do you know that when you move your finger and when you move your toes, it all comes from the head, who delivers signals to every member of the body as the head sees fit. So he is the head. So very often in our lives, we're in a situation, we're in a junction. We're in an intersection on the road. And we're seeking the Lord for his voice. We're seeking almost a Sinai experience where he speaks audibly to us and he says, this is the way to go, walk in it. And we desperately want that, especially when we're at a junction in our lives and we see the decisions before us. Should I stay? Should I go?
Don't do it.
But it's true. So, do we go left? Do we go right? Do we stay? Do we go forward? Do we go backwards? We're at these junctions in our lives and we are asking Adonai for his voice. It says in the end of these days he speaks to us through his Son. So we go, Adonai, where is your voice? Because I don't know which way to go. What sets me free is God will speak through his silence. And what I mean by that is that he will direct your paths. It says in Proverbs that trust in the Lord. Trust in him. Acknowledge him. Don't rely on your own stinking thinking, your own understanding. Just acknowledge him and he will direct the path. Hallelujah. What does that mean? Does it always mean he's going to say, go this way? I wish. But I'm here to tell you a reality. Sometimes Adonai is silent. And it's not because you have a lack of hearing. He's silent because he wants to be. Because a walk of faith means that He doesn't always give us the way. Faith is the evidence of things not seen. If it was always seen, if He gave you the trail of breadcrumbs, or if He gave you the sign, the blinking sign that says this way, or the sign that says don't go this way or this way, you know what? When He does that when it comes to righteousness, because He wrote His laws in His Torah. So we know which is His way from a standpoint of righteousness. That's the way, walk in it. But when it comes to decisions, do I move? Do I not move? Do I take this job or not? Do I take this medicine that the doctor prescribes or not? Decisions that are before us, left turns, right turns, we don't know, and we scream out Adonai, tell me, because I don't want to make the wrong decision. I'm here to set you free by telling you that there ain't no wrong decision if you trust Him and acknowledge Him. May your will be done and move forward. God is not Monty Hall. He's not in the game of let's make a deal. He's not saying door number 1, 2, 3, and 4, my will is one of those. You better pick the right one or you're in trouble. Or you're going to pick the right one. Only one has the brand new car and the other has a bag of rocks. He's not like that. But sometimes we're in life and He presents like 4 doors before us and we don't know what to take. I'm telling you that His will be known by you entering into it. Sometimes He doesn't tell you intentionally. Intentionally. Because He wants to build up your faith. Trust in Adonai. Don't lean on your own understanding. Acknowledge Him and He'll direct. That means if He wants you to open door number 3, you'll say, Adonai, I don't know what to do. And I'm not saying don't wait on the Lord. Sometimes we got to wait. The Lord isn't in any hurry. Believe me, He's not in a hurry. He takes His time. It's okay. It's a good thing to wait on the Lord if you're feeling pressure. Because the Lord is not somebody who pressures us. So if you feel like, I got this pressure to do this or this, you know what? Maybe the Lord wants you to wait until He gives you a peace on which way to go. And I believe He will give you a peace, but sometimes that peace is hidden because we're so anxious about the choice. But it's there. I do believe that He will give you the peace. But often He is wanting us to just take a step forward. If He wants you to open door number 3, if that's His will, and you're like, I don't hear what you're saying, but I have to go. I have to move. I have to act. This is the time. And you go to door number 1. If He wants you to door number 3, believe me, you'll go to door number 3. Believe me, if you open up door number 1, you're going to find it locked. Or He'll have you open and you go in and you wind up really, okay, this isn't it. He'll have you take a step back. It's a journey of faith. So if you're in this place where you're like, I don't know which way to go, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to say, should I stay or should I go now? Should I stay or should I go now? That's what we do. We sit around, we don't want to move, we sit singing the class, Adonai. If I'm in trouble, if I think it will be double, so Lord, you gotta let me know. Should I stay or should I go? We do that. Now, waiting on the Lord is a holy thing, but I tell you, there's a waiting on the Lord that has a semblance of holiness, but it's not, because it's based on fear. Right. There's a holiness to waiting on the Lord. It's a holy thing. But there is a waiting on the Lord that is not holy, because it's not the Lord telling you to wait. It's fear of the choice. It's not wanting to make a mistake. The Lord is not testing how well you hear Him. God bless the prophets. And we're all prophets. We all can speak God's words. But at the raw sense of the prophetic gift is to be able to see the future. That's the raw gift of prophecy. God bless the ones who see the future, where they say, this is the way, I have a decision to make. I'm at that decision point in my life, and God's saying to go this way, because He told me. Baruch Hashem. We're not all like that. We're not all like that. God bless the prophets. But I tell you, if you acknowledge Him and trust Him and seek His will, and if it's time to move, you won't make a mistake. You move, it's His will. You move, it's His will. If it's sin, it ain't His will. But God is so amazing that you can take a journey of sin, and then once you turn away from it and do teshuvah, you'll look at the whole path and you're like, how did I use this too? It's an amazing thing. So I'm here to set you free. If you're at a junction in your life and you don't know which way to go and you're waiting on a sign from the Lord, sometimes He just gives silence. Sometimes He will tell you the way to go after you make the move, because you're closer to where He wants you. So be set free from this fear of making a mistake. He's not a God who's just saying, you better hear me right, and if you don't hear me right, you're going down a path of destruction. We all hear in part. The best prophets hear in part. He's not going to hold you to how well you hear Him. If you've got to move, it's going to be okay. Sometimes He wants you to move on faith, because the journey is a journey of faith. And if He gave you the answer, it would not be faith. It would be sight. And it would be hearing. So just enjoy the journey. If you take a left turn and Adonai has to redirect you, allow Him to redirect you. He will. Seek His ways first, and you'll get it. You'll get it. You'll get it. You'll get it. Lord, I want to do your will. If you want to do His will, He will direct you to His will. So be set free. If you're at a place, a junction in your life, and you don't know which way to go, and you're waiting, and you feel it's time to go, but you're just so scared to move. Last week's Torah portion, the children of Israel were in a really tough spot. They had the sea in front of them. They had the Egyptian army behind them. Not very good choices to make. But Moses told them to do what they were used to. What he was used to during the course of the plagues. Which was, be still, do nothing. He said to the children of Israel, as the army was behind them and the sea was in front of them, He said, just stand still and watch the Lord take care of business. And then the Lord answers Moses and says, Moses, why are you crying out to me? Why are you crying out to me? Tell the children of Israel to go forward. That is an amazing thing. Can you imagine the Lord saying, why are you crying out to me? The Lord wanted the children of Israel to take a step forward in faith and watch Him do miracles. From the step out in faith, it's a beautiful thing. It's a greater thing than the sight, the walk of faith. It's when your dad or your mom gives you a gift and it's in a box and you don't know what's in the box. So you unwrap the box. That's what our journey is. It's a gift in front of you, and we're just unwrapping it. And we don't know what's in it. We don't know what beauty is in it, but we know it's good. We don't want our gifts wrapped. We just want to know what it is all the time. Just tell me what it is. So be set free. Seek His ways. Trust in Adonai. Don't rely on your own understanding. You know what relying on your own understanding is? Okay, I have 3 ways to go. I can do this.